In honor of Halloween, we are visiting some of LA's most terrifying real estate. From one of Southern California's most notorious murder scenes to a school that some of the most famous horror movies have ever been shot. Cruise along with us as we visit 3 iconic murder scene and movie locations throughout LA. Don't watch this alone. It's hard to think of famous murders and not think of the Juice Man. We are here at 875 South Bundy Drive in the Regal neighborhood of Brentwood. And on the evening of July 12th, 1994, this is where Nicole Brown, ex-wife of NFL superstar OJ Simpson's body was found. The 35-year-old mother of 2 was stabbed repeatedly in the head and neck and left nearly decapitated. Not far from her body, cops found her friend Ron Goldman killed and slumped behind one of these trees. And in an incredibly eerie fashion, bloody footprints found behind the body revealed that the killer literally just walked away from the murder scene. Now everybody knows how this ended, with OJ ultimately being acquitted, but did you know that the real estate has a pretty interesting story of its own? Now the house was placed on the market right after the murder in 1994, but it sat for sale for 3 years before the next buyer bought it in 2007. At that point, the newest owner changed the address and remodeled the front where the bodies were found. In 2006, the condo was sold again for $1.7 and hasn't exchanged hands since. Today, this place is valued at probably somewhere close to $3 million bucks. Built in 1930, the classic brick design of John Marshall High School in Los Feliz is one of Hollywood's most famous school locations. You might recognize this place from Wes Craven's 1984 classic, Nightmare on Elm Street. Located at 3939 Tracy Street, this is where the main character Nancy Thompson and her friends go to school before getting axed by the main character, Freddy Krueger. Nightmare on Elm Street was not the only famous movie filmed here. In 1992, this was home to Buffy the Vampire Slayer. They also shot Grease, Pretty in Pink, and one of my childhood favorites, Boy Meets World. It feels like we're really in the movies. At the top of our list is the notorious Los Feliz murder house located at 2475 Glendower Place. Now a landmark to LA true crime aficionados, this is home to arguably one of the most famous murder sites in the entire city of Los Angeles. Legend has it that on December 6th, 1959, Dr. Harold Pearson, a successful cardiologist and professor at the USC School of Medicine, picked up a hammer and went on a full-blown murder spree. So our boy Harold first takes a ball-peen hammer to his wife's head, whack, kills her with one blow. He then walks over to his oldest daughter Judy's room where he strikes her in the head with the same hammer, but this time not hard enough to kill her, just hard enough to wake her up where she screams, gets out of bed, and runs over to the neighbor Marshall Ross's house. At this point, Ross leaves Judy at his house, calls the police, and walks over only to find Harold's other 2 kids, Debbie and Joel, completely unharmed. Unable to reason with him, Harold goes to the bathroom upstairs, locks the door, and swallows a cocktail of pills. He ultimately walks over to Judy's room, sits down, and never gets up again. Rumor has it that Harold did this because he fell on financial troubles, while other accounts report that he tried to commit suicide multiple times before trying to kill his family. At the end of the day, the reason why Harold did this went to the grave with him. But what's even creepier about this house is what happened after the murders. Long story short, the house was sold in probate, and for reasons that are still unclear, the family that bought it never moved in. But what's even creepier is that they never even bothered to move the Pearsons' stuff out. Literally, the Christmas decorations that were set up in 1959 were left in place for more than 60 years after this murder. It wasn't until 2016 that the house was ultimately cleaned up and listed for sale, where it went on and off the market. Now, this place is up for grabs again for a cool $5.5 million that includes plans for new construction that have already been submitted to the city. So what do you think? Could you live here? I think I could look past the history. There you have it, 3 of LA's most famous murder scene and movie locations. So if you're looking for something to do this month, I highly recommend throwing the family in the car, not disturbing the residents that live at these locations, and going for a cruise. If you have any questions about the locations that we visited today, drop me a comment below. And if you like videos like this about the city of Los Angeles, hit that subscribe button. As always, thank you so much for watching. Happy Halloween.